Everyone and welcome for a new video. In today's video we will be covering the missions 29 of the Masked Carnivale for the Blue Mage. For a lot of people this missions 29 is one of the most difficult fights, and it's true because you need to play well and to avoid a lot of attacks. So yeah, this fight can be a little bit challenging, but I will try to help you get to know the fight, some tips, going through the fight together, show you the different attacks and the spell that you will require for this fight. So let's first start with the different spells that you will require for this fight. So for the first one, I will propose you the Sonic Boom, just for making the DPS. It's an easy attack to get, making enough damage. It's a wind attack and it's good against the first boss. You will have two bosses on the fight, and it's really easy to cast and fast to cast, so it's a good one for the fight. The second one that you will need will be Exuviations. That you can see right here, because the second boss will give you a debuff that you will have to remove, and Exuviations will help you doing that. You will need Aetherial Mimicry, and you need to mimic a healer before you enter the fight, because you will see that you will need a lot of heal, and you will use Pomme Cure as heal to be able to get your HP back fast enough. You will need Flying Sardine because you will have to interrupt an attack on the first boss and the second boss several times, and Flying Sardine will be necessary on that fight. On top of that, you will require Diamondback because on the second boss you will have to use Diamondback to not get killed. And except that, you should be good if you want to have the fight. The second boss of the fight getting a little bit longer, you can get the suicide mechanic, so it's off guard, whistle, tingle, moonflute, and final sting. You will be able to use it at 16% on the second boss if you want to kill him at the end. So yeah, that's kind of it for all the spell. So now we will jump on the fight and I will show you the different mechanic and how you will be able to manage this fight. So now, time for the fight. So I will explain you the different mechanic, but you will see that it's two different phases. You will do all the mechanic at start, and after we'll do all of them again with the torrent. So the first one was Fluid Swing, and you need to interrupt it with Flying Sardine. The second one is a Ifrit mechanic, where you will see some flames coming up here, so you can DPS in between, you have some time. The next one will be Pyretic. So Pyretic, you stop to move for 3 seconds. And really wait for the buff to go up. Here we go. You continue to do 2 DPS. The next one is an Ifrit mechanic again, so it's in and out. Sometimes it will do out and in. It really depends of the fight. Next one is Rush. So Rush, you need to go as far as you can from the boss. So for now it's pretty easy. So all this mechanic that you are seeing here, it will be reused later on when you will enter the second phase of the fight. Flare Star, you don't need to do much, just do that. For this one, you will see that the torrent will come to you and you will do exactly the same mechanic that before. So the first one is Fluid Swing. You need to interrupt that with the Flying Sardine. Second one is the Hybrid mechanic. Here we go, so in and out. And the third one will be Rush. There we go. So try to not get too close from the cyclone because it could get you killed. And after that you can just continue to DPS because the cyclone will be disappearing. So this one, you cannot take any damage from this phase, otherwise you will be one shot. So you need to go to the little space, but as you saw, you have some time to be able to get there. So it's not too difficult. Again, Fluid Swing, you need to interrupt it with Flying Sardine. And you continue the DPS. So it will do exactly the same thing that at the start of the fight. So as soon as you get this mechanic, you should be good with the first boss. So Pyretic, stop moving, 3 seconds, really wait for the buff to say minus pyretic, otherwise you will get some damage. But yeah, nothing really difficult here. So in, out, and the next one will probably be rush. There we go, rush. A quick heal just in case, and here you can just finish the boss. So that's it for the first boss. The second boss is similar. It's a little bit more difficult than the first one, but you'll see that you will have two different phases. One where you will do all the mechanic one by one, and the second one will be with the cyclone, where you will have to mix the cyclone AoE plus the mechanic that you are used to. Okay, let's start the second part of the fight. So this fight is pretty similar to the first one. So we will go through the full mechanic one by one at the start for the first phase, and after you will have to mix the AoE from the cyclone and the mechanic of the first phase. So let's start. But the mechanics are almost totally different compared to the first one. So protein wave, you need to go around him and you don't stop until he's doing the 2 splash. There we go. So now you can stop, you can continue the DPS. Throttle, so throttle you need to do the exuviations to make sure that you are removing the buff, because after 10 seconds you will be one shot. The next one is the ferrofluid. So if the symbols are equal, you need to pack with him. If you have a different symbol, you need to go as far as you can from him. So we continue that. Fluid ball. So fluid ball, you need to run because the AoE is popping like that in circle, but they are super fast to trigger. So it's better if you are running. Fluid swing, exactly the same mechanic that you saw in the first fight. You need to interrupt that with flying Sardine. So now we get back to the same mechanic. So you will see the same mechanic until level 70% of life. Sorry, I'm a little bit focused on the fight because it's a pretty difficult one. So you will see ferrofluid. So this time I have a different symbol, so I need to get as far as I can from him. There we go. We are approaching the 70%. So at 70% you will go to a new phase. Fluid ball, so you need to run and to avoid the 2 AoE. As soon as you see the second one, you can stop and continue your DPS. And now we see that we are at 70%, so he will get. What I like to do is to fully heal before this phase. You will see 2 ends that will come into play. So you need to focus first on the first end. And I like to use Electrogenesis because it's an AoE attack and it will make some damage to the boss. So when you're done with the first end, you need to kill the second one as fast as you can. And you need to check for the boss because he will use fluid swing that will probably kill you. So you need to focus on that. And as soon as you're done, you need to kill the second hand and prepare to the next mechanic. So the next mechanic is Big Splash. You need to use Diamondback for that, otherwise you would get killed. And be careful because Big Splash will happen several times during the fight, so be prepared to use Diamondback. So I will get back to it. Cascade, so Cascade, it will come with the little cyclone. And what you have to do is to avoid the attack and to avoid his attack as well. His attack are exactly the same than at the first phase. So you will see fluid swing, you will see protein wave, you will see the ball, water ball or whatever. So as you can see, I did stop the 2 first one. The next one will be the fluid ball. So again, you need to run on this one. You can do some DPS if you want. And try to go as far as you can from the water. So here you see that you will do throttle and you will do fluid swing directly together. So first you need to interrupt the Fluid Swing with the Sardine. And after, you need to exuvate the throttle effect. Otherwise, you will get killed again. So now we get back to the normal mechanic. You will go through the same things. You can use the suicide combo after 16%. So we are still far from it, but we are at 38. Fluid Swing, you need to interrupt that. There we go. So it's a little bit long. It's a long fight, but it's a fun fight because you need to repeat it a lot to make sure that you understand all the mechanic correctly. So you see Big Splash. So Big Splash, you need to use Diamondback. You will use it normally 2 times because you will be able to kill him after the second time. So Diamondback, quick heal just in case. So Cascade, you will get back with the Cyclone. So try to get in the middle of the room because you cannot catch the Cyclone. So here it's Fluid Swing, you need to interrupt that. Second one is the Cyclone and Protein Wave, so you need to turn around him. There we go. You will have a third one, and you will see the Fluid Ball that will come. There we go. And after the second Fluid Ball, you will need to get as far as you can from the Cyclone to make sure that you are not getting killed. You will get again with the Fluid Swing, so you need to interrupt that, and you need to exuvate the throttle, as you see on my screen on the right side. And you continue the DPS, so I have a different symbol, and I just reached the 16%, so what I can do is I can kill him with the combo. So I will just go through it, so I'm using all the combo to get it down. You need to run, Moon Fluid, and the final sting. And you are done with the dirty duty. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. As usual, you will be able to see all the spells that I used in the descriptions below. If you have any questions or if you want to me to create any content, feel free to put a comment on the video and I will make sure that I'm doing that. So if you like the video, feel free to put a like and a little subscribe in the channel. Thank you all, bye bye.